Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Now, usually I ask the person on the end to go get the questions. The other day I decided to go myself.
Because you know I'll say no.
There is that. I ran right across the camera.
Do you want me to get him?
Yes, please.
Good God.
He didn't look as though he was ready to move, did he?
He didn't. But he'll do it anyway.
Hey, get us a cup of tea.
Great team member, Craig Burley. We've got Craig and Stevie here with us. Don Hutchison's back as well for these Extra Time questions today. Don't take a sneaky look at them.
How's the for you then, Kay?
I've had a look at him.
Don did the power rankings today.
Usual guff. Picked out usual.
Let's see. We'll be the decider of that. All right. Don, Arsenal needed you tonight. The only way they were scoring was if it came from the halfway line. What are your percentages for Spurs or Arsenal getting fourth place? Do not say 50-50. Hashtag come on you Spurs.
No, I'm not going 50-50. I'm going heavy on Spurs. I'm going 70-30 Spurs.
Our producer tonight is a very ardent, choose my words carefully here, a very ardent Tottenham supporter. Gets very excited, and I'm not quite sure how he's able to contain himself to do this show tonight. Professionalism of the highest order. For a change, I may add.
He's gone back to the pessimistic view, saying
that everybody's picking them. Yeah.
They're going to lose the next game.
Spursy.
Double bluff.
Yeah, they're going to call Spursy. All right.
Spursy.
Stevie, you're Robert Lewandowski, who reportedly wants to leave in the summer. Where do you go and why? For Bayern Munich, who do you replace him with? Lukaku, Schick, or another?
Whew. My goodness.
Well, I'll tell you.
Where do you go? I mean... Wait.
Hold on. Has somebody got Lukaku got to Bayern Munich?
Yeah. Take that off.
No.
Actually, I believe they're interested in Schick if Lewandowski does go. So I'll probably go with Schick on that one. But if you're Lewandowski, you want to go to a City, possibly a Barcelona, or a Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid were talking about signing Haaland and Mbappe. Well, why don't they sign Mbappe and Lewandowski? If they're able to do that, then go ahead and pay the money and get him as well. So
I don't think Benzema would be too happy.
Does Lewandowski want to be behind Benzema as well?
Well, Benzema supplied Ronaldo, so can he not supply Lewandowski?
Isn't this just now that finally Benzema's getting time to step into the light?
What a horrible problem to have. Who do I do? Do I play Lewandowski? Or do I play Benzema? Or do I play Lewandowski and Benzema?
That's the coach's problem, though, not the player's
exactly,
problem.
What an absolutely tremendous problem to have.
You had that problem.
At the
Revs, didn't you?
Yeah.
Friday night, couldn't sleep with choices.
Couldn't sleep because of the choices.
Right, Craig, have you guys ever played a big match, cup final, playoff, etc., where your team didn't show up and you got played off the pitch? Was there a reason why? And could you sense it within the first few minutes of a match that you were going to lose badly?
Not really. I mean, we got beaten heavily in the end in the '94 Cup final by Man United. It was 4-0, but it was 0-0 at half-time. And it wasn't because we didn't show up. It's because they, at that point, had a much better side with Cantona, Keane, Etal.
But you've been in a relegation battle. Did you feel when you were in that battle everybody was fighting to stay up?
Yes and no. You always get some who are shy away from the pressure of that more than others, but you've just got to cope with that, you know, injuries and stuff. So it's much more pressure down the bottom fighting than it is at the top, for sure.
What about you, Don?
I remember playing a game, I'm not sure if Craig played in it. Bertie Vogts was the Scotland manager, and we drew Holland in the playoffs, and James McFadden scored at Hampden. We beat them 1-0 at home. Then we went away from home, and I was on the bench. And I can remember looking at the Dutch 11 and the Dutch squad of about 2002, and Kay, it was ridiculous. It was probably the best squad I think I've ever seen, and we lost 6. Lost 6-0. I don't know if Craig played in that one. It was 6 going on about 12. We got battered.
No, I'd thrown the towel in at that point.
You wouldn't have been battered if Craig was still
No,
there.
I'd thrown it. I played one game for Bertie and then I threw the towel in. I'd seen enough. I was like, I was out of there.
Stevie?
I was done.
We didn't get outplayed, but to lose the cup final to Wimbledon in '88 was a real shock. One of the biggest shocks in FA Cup history. And I think I know the reason why, because we had won the league title, I think maybe 3 weeks before the final, and I think we basically got it wrong between winning the league and the final, that we didn't keep sharp. And so by the time the final came around, we didn't have that extra thing in our legs, which meant that Wimbledon, as they do and as they did, just destroyed the game. Had one free kick.
Right, you won the league 3 weeks before. I've only got 10 fingers. So how many nights out was that between
that might
winning the league?
Something to do it as well. But you know, one free kick, one header,
Very
did nothing else.
team building
We had a
exercise.
goal. We had a goal disallowed because the referee said he had blown for a free kick for us. So just everyone went against us, and yeah, just horrible.
The good news is it's not bothering him still, all these years later.
No, I mean we lost the opening game of that England-Scotland double-header, which was one of the biggest games at the time for years and years and years. We lost 2-0 at Hampden. I don't think, Don, that we never showed up. Paul Scholes just scored. Paul Scholes just scored 2 opportunist goals, and then obviously we beat them at Wembley 1-0. I don't know if Don's mentioned, but he scored the winner
Really?
that day. So yeah, I don't think that was a matter of not showing up. He just scored 2 opportunist goals. His goals.
2 headers as well,
pretty
Craig,
much.
weren't they?
Yeah. Well, no, one was a header.
Or was it? I thought it was 2.
No. So yeah, not really.
All right, Don, with all the fuss surrounding Jesse Lingard not getting to play his final match at Old Trafford and say bye to the fans, can the panellists share their good and bad experiences of their final match for clubs they played for, especially Don, who was not loyal to any of the clubs?
No, that's why I never got any sort of standing ovations, because I wasn't loyal. Liverpool used to do it best, I think, Kay. You know, Stevie might agree. Last day of the season, every single season, not just when it was your last game, but on the final home day of the season, Liverpool fans were amazing. They stayed in the ground, felt like for an age, just to support the team that given so much throughout the year. So, yeah, I wasn't one for standing ovations. I mean, does it mean a lot?
I didn't know I was getting. Well, one of the I wouldn't have got. I'm not into, but not into it anyway. But
He would have got a bottle envy.
I'd have got a.
I didn't
On the
know.
way, you know that day on the way in, 1 pence for an empty bottle. So we
Right.
could chuck it at him.
I didn't know any of the games. I didn't know.
Burnley.
I didn't know any of my games at those
Don't come
clubs.
back next year.
Were my last games.
That's bad.
I didn't know any of them were my last game.
No inkling, nothing.
No, because I moved in the summer from Chelsea to Celtic, and so when we finished the season, I was presuming I was starting the next season, and a transfer happened. At Celtic, it was mid-season, so it just came about. And at Derby, I never thought it was going to be my last game because they offered me a new contract for the next season, and then it was withdrawn, and I was given a free. So I didn't know.
The only one I got was at Doncaster Rovers.
Oh, come
No.
on.
Honestly.
No, you never got one at Liverpool?
Well,
Right, get
I get-
back.
A bit like you, I didn't know I'd played my last game. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. But at Doncaster, I was coming to America, and I had a certain date, and I knew what game was my last game at Doncaster. And so before the game, they gave me a little platter and a clap and all that. It was great, aye.
So when was your testimonial that you were telling me about the other day?
94.
94.
94, yeah. I
Well,
forgot.
played in that.
I didn't.
Aye. Thank you, Don.
Played in
He
that.
said- yeah.
Turning up.
He mentioned all the people who did. I don't know if he mentioned you, Don. He mentioned a
remember.
few of the celebs from back in the day, back in
I can't remember
England.
playing it. I just know in the garage I've got the shirt hanging up on the wall.
All right, Don, how many current players at Newcastle should be kept?
Oh, dear me. How many? I mean, I can't go through them off the top of my head, but I mean, I mean, I think Eddie Howe would want to bring about 4 or 5 in. It just depends on which positions. I've heard people mention that they need a new goalkeeper, but I don't think Dubravka's the worst. Matt Targett should sign. Maybe a better midfield player, someone that's going to get goals from midfield. Definitely a number 9. I think Chris Wood's a really, really good player, but he's not going to take Newcastle to where they really want to be. But I heard Eddie Howe on the TV tonight saying they've not got unlimited funds. They're going to have to be sensible. So depending on how much money they've got to spend. So I'd like to see a fair few signings come in.
All right, you're all going to be able to answer this next one because we have to do it a lot. What's your take on watching multiple games on multiple screens at the same time?
Horrible. Oh, it's rotten. No.
You end up just trying to watch one, and then you keep an eye on what you think is not the bigger game. That's the way I do it anyway.
Yeah, you start off thinking that you can do it, but then the longer the games go, you realise that, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate on one, and then I'll know exactly what's going on. And fortunately, if there's 2 or 3 of you, then after 10 minutes, we can just divide it up. Say, you know what, you do that one, bye-bye. Otherwise, you end up not seeing anything because you're just doing this all the time.
What about you, Don?
Oh, same. I mean, honestly, Kay, I tried to blag it on the show a couple of weeks back, and Archie Rintup was on, and he absolutely put me in my place because I was meant to be watching 2 games. One was the West Ham Eintracht Frankfurt game at the London Stadium. I can't remember the other game. It was like a Chelsea Arsenal game. It was a big game in the Premier League, and I was watching one. And I had the sound turned up on the Premier League game, but I was trying to keep an eye on the West Ham Eintracht game, but with no sound on. So my eyes were on the 2 different games, but I had the sound from the Premier League game on. So when Archie was on a couple of weeks ago, someone threw a question at me like, "Oh, what was the atmosphere like?" And I went, "Oh, it was amazing, Kay. The London Stadium was rocking." Then I went to Archie and he went, "It was dead. It was quiet."
It was me, and we thought you were just being super biased.
Yeah. I was just trying to sort of be generic, saying, "Oh, the Eintracht fans and the West Ham fans were amazing."
Are you telling us you lie? Are you telling us you lie on this show, Don?
I did, but Archie was brilliant because he absolutely shot me down in flames.
Well, listen, at least you got his name right. Stevie thinks he's called Charlie.
Charlie?
Charlie Rintup.
Charlie Rintup, yeah.
What did that just remind you of then, Craig? Were you just going to say something for that? I don't know. I thought you were just going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say it was unfortunate timing that Archie was actually at the stadium. I mean, it could have... another time you might have got away with it, blagging that, but actually Archie was outside the stadium and had said, no.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.